Welcome to a collaborative review of the newly revised New York State Commissioners Regulation Part 100.2J on school counseling programs. Please watch this introductory video carefully to better understand the purpose of this review and your important role as one of the reviewers. The Commissioners Regulation informs school districts of their obligations to provide services to all students grades pre-K through 12 through the district's counseling program. Note that the terms guidance counselor, guidance program are no longer used, and they've been replaced by school counselor and school counseling program. This is not just a semantic word substitution, but a reflection of the significant developments within the school counseling profession over the last 40 years. The regulation changes were developed by the New York State Education Department with the assistance of its School Counseling Advisory Council. The New York State School Counselor Association, or NYSSCA, was pleased to have several board members participate in these revisions. Significant input was provided by the NYSSCA-sponsored School Counselor Summit held in April of 2014, where 250 participants developed recommendations to the Board of Regents. One specifically recommending this regulation be revised to include the components of the ASCA national model published by the American School Counselor Association. The revised regulation is intended to ensure all students, grades P to 12, have access to support needed to be academically successful, socially and emotionally developed, and college and career ready. It is also intended to develop greater consistency from school to school and district to district. With the trend of more states adopting a similar approach, there will also be greater consistency from state to state as populations continue the trend to relocate around this country. This consistency will serve students well. To read the full revised regulation, click on the link beneath this screen. This regulation describes 4 components to school counseling programs, each with subcomponents organized in this collaborative assessment as follows. 1. Program foundation, including student access to services, program focus, student competencies, and professional competencies. 2. Program delivery, including individual progress review, core instruction, direct student services, and indirect student services. 3. Program management, including annual agreement, advisory council, program data, action plans, and lesson plans. And 4. Program accountability, including program plan, program data with results report, program calendars, and annual professional performance review. When implementing new regulations, it's always prudent to determine what degree your school district is already compliant or aligned and where resources are needed to bring your program into full compliance. This collaborative review allows your district to bring in the perspective of multiple stakeholders. This will help determine the degree to which your program has implemented each regulation component. This wisdom of the crowd process has another great benefit. You'll be able to consider a spectrum of ideas and suggestions for developing your school counseling program in light of the revised regulation. The new regulation requires a more systematic approach to school counseling programs than was previously required. We realize that some stakeholders engaged in this review will be very knowledgeable of the details, but that many will not. In an effort to help those who may desire a little more background information, we're providing brief video commentaries in each section of the review. Developed by the New York State School Counselor Association, NYSSCA, for distribution through the New York State School Boards Association, this collaborative review is an important step intended to move school counseling programs from standalone departments with activities to integrated, district-wide, student-focused programs. The results of this review are confidential and will belong to your district only. Neither NYSSCA nor NYSSBA will be authorized to see the results. NYSSCA's role in this review is to encourage and support real change across New York State and how schools counseling programs are developed, implemented, and assessed, so that ultimately all students are served by this program and its school counselors. School counselors tell us they want leaders to understand more thoroughly what they do and are capable of doing for students. This collaborative review will help develop that depth of understanding. Thank you for being a part of the review.